Hello, YouTube. This is Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's Monday, new day of the rat race, beginning of the week. Hope you're doing well. Time again for another pocket dump deconstruction. Yeah, I put on my armor this morning. It's the Rolex Datejust. I do it every Monday when I'm getting ready to go to work. It just helps me get into the right mindset. I finally, after way too many years of work, finally learned how to leave it at work. But man, it makes those Mondays so much harder. Even makes Sunday afternoons tough. You start thinking about what you have to do. But I love my Rolex Datejust, just a classic Rolex. My Trinidad. I have a lot of Trinidad's, the old style Trinidad's, Cuban cigars, the bigger ones in my humidor that's been there for 15 years or so. Every now and then I pull them out and smoke them, and they smoke like heaven. But this is a wonderful Cuban cigar, Trinidad cigar. Have my Shown Design tie pin. The thing about a Shown Design pin and why I like them, I have 3 of them, and that's now the only pin I used to for decades. Just carry my work pin. People would say, don't you carry a pin? I go, it's a work pin. I don't need to have all that stuff on the internet. I found the Shown Design pin. I really like it. Made in Massachusetts. Today, it's just blended scotch. I'm laughing because I got up and I'm like, what am I going to drink today? What am I putting in my flask? And I looked at all those bottles of expensive hooch and I went, let's just get blended scotch because it's a Monday. Let's see. One of my Mont Blanc skinny wallets and this coin that's always hard to photograph. Let's see if we can get it. And I'll tell you why. It's the United States Baseball Hall of Fame coin from 2014. And the reason it's so hard to do, now this is the proof coin, is because it's the first U.S. coin that has this. You see the curve in it? First one to have a curve in it. And the reason it has the curve is the front is the baseball. So you have that hump, the curve of the baseball. And then in the back it's concave. And look, it's a catcher's mitt. I think it's a great coin. I do. What a wonderful coin. Anything I could use for good luck on a Monday, I use it. So I broke out my baseball coin, my 1-ounce silver coin from the U.S. Mint. Just a wonderful coin. First time they got super fancy on their coins. Let's see. Take the knives off. That's my Coach pad. And let's talk about what I have in my pockets. The first is the custom UTX-70. It's just wonderful. I like my regular UTX-70. It's just a little small knife. I've had to go through some changes. I have a special little eeny beeny wire that I use to get this on my keychain. But man, I really like it. It's a limited edition. What number is it? I always forget that information. Mine is number 32. Whenever I show this, someone sends me, I take a picture and put it on my Instagram at Keith Kevin Ken on Instagram, and people always go, is it for sale? Is it for sale? No, not now. None of my knives are for sale now. But at some point, when you start seeing Keith Kevin Ken selling his knife collection, he's starting to make that move. He's figured out how to work on the road. But this is just nice. Aluminum, of course. Black aluminum. I love the blue Look at the blue nuts. The blue hardware is wonderful. The two uh, glass breakers are blue, which is great. But the best part is that blue Damascus. Is that beautiful or what? Tanto blade. Wonderful, wonderful action. Just a nice custom knife that I wanted in my pocket today. Why? Just because I wanted it in my pocket today. Usually when I use my UTX-70 as a keychain knife, it doesn't get a lot of use. It doesn't. Every other keychain knife, when I have my man bug, ladybugs, whatever it is, my Jester, that usually, because I'm an office guy, that usually gets most of the office work because it doesn't scare anybody or anything. This gets a lot of use because I like clicking it back and forth in the office and stuff. Oh man, I haven't carried, this is the Sage 2, folks. I haven't carried this in a long time. It was my best Sage, my #1 Sage, until last year when Spyderco released the Sage 5, which was the compression lock. The Sage series is Spyderco's series of knives. They all pretty much have the same profile, but they celebrate a lock. And the Sage, the wise knife maker who created the lock. Sage 2 is a favorite. It's all titanium because it shows off the Chris Reeve integral frame lock. The Chris Reeve RIL, Reeve integral frame lock. Spyderco uses it almost on all of their knives. And so that's why they made sure that it was a titanium handle with the lock. And of course, all of the Sages have the wire clip, which I just love. See-through construction, 3-inch. Gotta love everything about the Sage series. I'll tell you, everything about the Sage series is just quality. 3-inch Spyderco leaf blade. About 2.6 of that is edge. Full flat ground. Man, is it a nice slicer. Feels great. That forward choil, which is wonderful. About a 60 handle, 40 steel choil, which is just perfect. All of them have that. And then, of course, that Chris Reeve lock. Strong and smooth as silk. Everything about this knife is perfect. Has to be on my top 10 list because it's just so well made. Spyderco doing Chris Reeve really well with the Sage 2. I was thinking about going with another Spyderco knife, one of my favorites, and you'll see that as the knife that got away. But man, I was going into my Chris Reeve collection and came up with a knife that I have not carried in a long time. You know, I do have a big Chris Reeve collection. I love the plain Jane knives. This came up about, oh man, maybe a month into collecting Chris Reeve knives. I had just gotten my Umnumzun, my Sebenza 25. I had a Sebenza 21, small Sebenza 21, and the riddled Sebenza, large Sebenza 21. And this came up. And because I wanted a large, just Sebenza 21, this came up, and I was wondering why on the secondary market, why it was so expensive compared to the regular. And I'll tell you why. First, it's smooth as silk. Second, this is a classic. This is the Chris Reeve classic Sebenza 21. And that blade is the BG-42 steel blade that Chris Reeve used to rock. Just a wonderful blade stock. Chris Reeve did BG-42 in 1998, and then he met the folks at Crucible, worked with them, to come up with S30V and then, of course, S35VN steel. He switched and never looked back, but man, it's hard to find the BG-42 steel blades, but this is just really nice. Just nice. That, my friends, is my classic, and I just want to carry it today. I did. I needed to feel good today. The knife that got away is the Spyderco and Marcin Slish. I don't say it right. No one on the internet says it right. But Slish, the Spydiechef, which is becoming one of my favorite Spydercos. It's just great. And you know what? I'm not surprised. Marcin Slish is the one that created two of my other favorite Spydercos. The Techno, which was my very first knife over $100. Oh man, that was a long time ago that I bought on Amazon. But then he came up with the Swish Bowie, which is unfreaking believable. Almost as perfect EDC knife as you can get. And then last year he came up with the Slish Spydiechef, and man, I love this knife. This one's going with me on my sportsmobile or whatever van I end up traveling around the country in. I just love it. So here's the deal. It's called a Spydiechef because that with the belly, this blade shape is like a chef's knife in the kitchen. Okay? All of this, by the way, is rust proof. Everything. The handles, the materials, everything is. The steel is the first time that Spyderco used LC200N steel. Now, this year, they're going to have some other knives with LC200N. That is a 100% rust proof steel. Now, we're used to them using H1 steel. This is a different kind of rust proof steel. This steel is the steel that NASA used for ball bearings in their spaceships, all right? Yeah, I said spaceships because I think that's cool to say. But in all of their crafts, they go out and they use LC200N. So you know, if NASA supports this steel, I'm okay with having it in my pocket. So it is great for, and it's a full flat ground blade. So of course, great for slicing, great for food prep, and of course a wonderful EDC knife. I mean, it can do anything. That's what a chef knife is. It can do anything in the kitchen. It has, like his other two knives for Spyderco, the full titanium body with the Chris Reeve integral frame lock, and of course that deep carry pocket clip, wire pocket clip. It just makes it great. Spyderco was good to keep it at that low profile, just like you find in the kitchen, so you could put your hand on it and rock it when you're cutting. Like, look, I got Blue Apron for over a year, and now I'm a chef. But what a wonderful knife. 3.3-inch blade, of course, that LC200N stainless steel, rust-proof stainless steel. 7.8 inches total. It's a nice size knife, you know. 3.8 ounces, but man, it is balanced so nice. That's the Spydiechef. Look, I'm almost talking myself into moving out my classic, but no, I need my classic in my, I need that classic in my pants pocket today. There you have it. Actually, we're expecting some severe thunderstorms. Probably should be carrying this, but instead I'm going with the classic, and that classic BG-42 steel. Listen to me. Yeah, I'm happy now, but I'm not at work. I hope you guys have a perfect day. Take good care of yourselves. Please. Please take good care of yourselves. Keep your pockets full. Man, it makes me happy. Hope it makes you happy. You guys have a nice day. If you're on the east coast of the U.S., stay dry. Have a good one. Goodbye.